I'd like to discuss with you how the rent payment process works. This is essentially how the money moves from a renter through to the agent, and then obviously ultimately to the owner. My name is Andrew Wood, and this can be a little bit tricky, so hopefully I'll explain it to you. Obviously the rent payment process starts with the renter when they pay their rent through to the agent. Now let's assume that the rent due date for the renter is on the 20th of the month. Now this is not the date that the renter needs to pay the rent, it's actually the date that it needs to appear in the agent's trust account. Agents keep what's called a regulated trust account. Gets a little bit involved, but it is a very important thing to have. It's an audited and regulated trust account. So for the money to actually transfer from the renter to the agent, it can take a number of days. Now when you transfer money to your friends on a phone or something for $100 after you've been out, the money almost transfers instantly. But when you're transferring large amounts like rent to an agent, it can take somewhere around 3 days. So for the money to appear in the agent's trust account and cleared, we recommend that the renter sets up an automatic transfer of the rent on the 17th of each month. Now the time between the 17th and the 20th of a month could be over a weekend, and the money won't transfer on those non-business days. So the 3 days allows for things like weekends, it allows for things within the banking system that just ensures that the rent appears in the agent's trust account on the 20th of each month. There's a number of different ways that the rent can be paid. We recommend BPay, but it can also be done by EFT, or obviously it can be done by cash. Not always recommended, not a great security. We recommend BPay as the best way to pay the money across. So once the money is cleared into the agent's trust account, they are able to then obviously pay the owner. But there's a couple of other things that need to be done along the way. One of those things that needs to be done is the payment of bills. So the money out of the agent's trust account going to the owner will include things like bills. Now this could be OC fees, could be rates. There's also might be maintenance works that's done, safety checks. Time to time. I'm not trying to list all the bills for an owner, but just over the period, of course, of the ownership, there are a number of things that need to be removed, and also agency fees. So, the time that it takes for these to make sure that we've got all these systems in place, the bills being paid to the correct people, takes about 6 days, which means that the money can be paid out to the owner on or around from the 20th is about the 26th of each month. Again, depending on weekends and those sorts of things. So that is how the money is paid from a renter into the agent's trust account and then on to the owner, and all the bills and outgoings are taken care of at the same time. I hope that helps.